Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video today. The team that we're going to be taking an in-depth dive into is our 2024 Miami Hurricanes. We're going to preview the whole team as well as look at their schedule and try to predict how they'll do every single game and what their final record will be. Go ahead, hit that like button and subscribe. If you have any comments, drop them below and I'll make sure to respond. So the 2024 Miami Hurricanes, this is a put up or shut up year for Mario Cristobal. First year 5-7, last year 7-5. This year, Vegas has them projected at 9.5 wins, but a lot of people, including myself, have Miami going over that. I know we say the same thing every year. This is Miami's year. It never is. I've been pretty harsh on the Hurricanes in the past years, but this year I'm actually buying in. You have Shannon Dawson back as offensive coordinator. You have Lance Guidry as the defensive coordinator. They own recruiting. They own the transfer portal. They've had back-to-back top 5 classes in recruiting, and 3 years ago a top 10 class, and they've been top 10 every year in the transfer portal. You have Cameron Ward, the number 1 transfer portal quarterback coming over, Damian Martinez, the number 1 transfer portal running back, and the wide receiver core is loaded. You have Brown transferring over from Houston. You have George. You have Xavier Restrepo. They did lose both safeties to the NFL, but they're replacing them with, well, they have a top-notch linebacker core led by Maui Goa, and they also have an extremely loaded defensive line. Their D-line is going to be one of the best in the country. They're going to be getting after the quarterback, and they have a lot of top guys coming in. So you have Bain, you have Maui Goa, you have C.J. Clark, you have Cook, lots of depth, and they're also breaking in some new guys in the secondary, and they have a lot of transfers coming in the secondary. You have Daryl Porter Jr., you have Deion Hill, you have Powell. So the weapons are there, and they also have a top 5 offensive line as of right now. Lots of depth there, lots of NFL talent. But let's take a look at this schedule. Let's try to run through this real quick. They kick things off August 31st at the Florida Gators. It's going to be a tough game. This is in Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. But the pressure that Mario Cristobal has on him, Billy Napier has just as much pressure, if not threefold. His seat is on fire right now. If they don't reach a bowl game, he's probably getting canned at some point this season. Florida has been recruiting well, given not making a bowl game last season. They've also been working the portal well. They have Mertz back at quarterback. Had a great season last year after transferring over from Wisconsin. Their defense should be a lot better. That was a weakness. They're going to have a good offense. A lot of transfer portal players. DJ Lagway is there as the backup quarterback, but he's not going to be starting this season. As of right now, Miami is a 2.5 favorite on the road. I'm going to go with Miami getting the win on the road. This game could have a massive effect for both of these teams. The first step in the season, whoever loses this game, it could spell pretty much of a letdown season. But I have Miami winning it. September 7th, the Florida A&M Rattlers. This is Miami's first home game. I'm obviously going to go with Miami to win that. So they're going to be 2-0 here. And then Saturday, September 14th, Ball State Cardinals. This is another home game for Miami. This is another game that they should easily win. Right now they're sitting at 3-0. Things are cruising really good. A lot of people have Miami having a top 10 offense and a top 25 defense this season. I definitely think they're going to be able to achieve both of those things. Biggest question is the secondary on defense. There's no questions right now on offense. Cameron Ward played in the air raid. Shannon Dawson runs the air raid. Seems like a match made in heaven. Saturday, September 21st at USF Bulls. This game's on the road. This could be somewhat of a hiccup game. USF is actually not a bad squad. They do run the ball really well. If you remember, they played Alabama really close last season, but they did lose the game. But I have Miami continuing their hot streak winning this game. They're now 4-0. Friday, September 27th, Virginia Tech Hokies. If this game was in Blacksburg, I would actually pick Miami to lose it. Virginia Tech is actually a pretty decently tough team. They also run the ball well, had a really good season last year. They're taking the baby steps coming back to what they used to be. This is a really good team. Not the Beamer team of old, but a tough team. Blacksburg, really tough place to play at night. But it is in Miami. They're coming all the way south. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid. Miami's offense is running hot. I have Miami also winning this game. And then Saturday, October 5th, we have at the Cal Golden Bears. Cal's team, they were actually averaging like 220 yards on the ground last year. They do have a running back coming in, had almost 1,500 yards last season. They can run the ball. They're a very physical team. But if you're a run-heavy team, you are actually running into the strength of the Miami team, which is their D-line. that linebacker core. They're going to be getting after you. To me, they're going to shut that down. You're going to have to be able to beat them vertically through the air. But Miami's going all the way to Cal. That's where things could get a little odd because this is a new team to the ACC. Miami has to go all the way from the Southeast all the way to the West Coast, so they could have some jet lag. But I have Miami winning it. I have Miami beating Cal, and that's going to put them at 6-0. Then they have a well-earned bye week, and then Saturday, October 19th at the Louisville Cardinals. Louisville was one of the teams that beat Miami last season. Miami, they always have a letdown game at some point. I think this is going to be it. It's either going to be here or Virginia Tech. They're going to slip up. Mario's god-awful coming off the bye weeks. Pretty much, if they're coming off a bye week, they almost lose every single bye week. I have them losing this game in an upset. Although Louisville's a good team, probably going to be a top 25 team. I have them dropping this one, but it's going to be a close one. It's going to be like a 28-27, some type of odd game like that, but they're 6-1. Saturday, October 26th, Florida State Seminoles. Miami's riding, a 4-year losing streak versus the Seminoles? Obviously, Florida State went undefeated during the regular season last year, but they had a complete turnover with this team. Almost every single starter's gone, breaking in new guys. Now, they are all highly rated 4- and 5-star guys that they recruited, as well as brought in through the portal. This is going to be a tough team. This is obviously going to be a ranked team, maybe even a top 15 team. They're going to be tough. They're going to have a good defense. Norvell has his team coached up, but I think this is Miami's year. Cameron Ward versus DJU. Cameron Ward's the better quarterback. Not a knock on DJU, but he's just a game manager. I think Cameron Ward is a difference maker. I have Miami winning this one, and I actually think it's going to be like a 35-24, 35-27 game, and Miami's 7-1. And then Saturday, November 2nd, Duke Blue Devils. This game is in Miami. Miami really wants to get back at Duke, but don't forget who Duke's new coach is, Manny Diaz. So you know Duke's going to have a good defense. They're bringing over, I think it's Murphy, the transfer quarterback from Texas. They're going to have a decent offense. They're going to have a really good defense, and it's a personal game. It's personal to Miami. It's personal to Manny. But I think Miami, obviously, with Duke breaking in a new coach, they just don't have the roster depth. Miami's going to beat them pretty handily, and Miami's 8-1. Saturday, November 9th, at Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Who can forget the Georgia Tech game from last season? That was pathetic. Mario refused to kneel. They lost the game. But it's history now. It's over. All that you can do is hope to learn from it. Hopefully Mario knows if it's a one-possession game, there's 10 seconds left. Just take the knee. I have Miami getting revenge on this game, winning it pretty handily, although Georgia Tech's not a bad team. King's a really good quarterback. They won 8 games last season, but I have Miami winning this one. It's probably going to be like a 40-20 game, and Miami's 9-1. And then they have a bye week. We all know Miami loses coming off the bye, but I actually have them winning this time. Saturday, November 23rd, Wake Forest Demon Deacons. I have Miami following up the bye, finally breaking the bye demon streak here and beating the Demon Deacons. It's like it was set up, made to be. They're at home. Wake Forest, obviously there's no Sam Hartman, so they have no offense. Miami's going to beat them. They're 10-1. Can Miami finish the season with 11 wins? They've only had one 10-win season in the last 2 decades. Saturday, November 30th, at Syracuse Orange. This is one of those games Miami usually drops. They're riding hot. They're not paying attention. They lose the last game of the season. Syracuse, a completely new team. They've been working the portal. Kyle McCord will be coming in as the quarterback. Supposedly, he's been looking pretty good. But we know what he was last year with the Buckeyes with all those weapons. I have Miami finally finishing the season on a high note for once, beating Syracuse pretty handedly. And they're finishing the regular season 11-1. This is the year for Miami. A lot of high hopes for them. They could easily let down. Like we mentioned earlier, Vegas has them at 9.5 wins. I have them finishing the regular season 11-1. I'm kind of setting myself up for failure here because Miami always disappoints. They never do it. If they go 9-3, that's a really good season, but you have to be disappointed with the amount of seniors on this team and with the best quarterback Miami's had since Dorsey, and potentially the best running back that Miami's had since, like Mark Walton or like a 2017, 2018 season. It's been a long time. Miami hasn't had a 1,000-yard running back in like 7 years. Martinez is going to get it. They have the depth. They have Fletcher. They extremely have the depth at tight end, wide receiver. Their offense is going to average, to me, 38 to 40 points a game. Their defense should probably only give up 19 to 20. They'll have a top 10 or 15 offense and potentially a top 25 defense. But that's my prediction for our 2024 Miami Hurricanes. Hit that like button and subscribe. If you have any comments, drop them below and I will respond.